All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Right.
Ooh.
Get this video out of here. And let's see. Let's let everybody get in here. Everybody got their coffee, I hope.
Plenty of coffee already.
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay. Oh, I have a treat for you today. I don't know when that, again, there's a whole bunch of social media for National Dog Day. I don't know when it is, but does it even matter?
Every day.
It is too.
That's right. Can celebrate dogs any day. That's fine. So I've got that up there, but I guess sometime in August there'll be a National Dog Day.
Maybe
Okay,
it's all
well,
month.
people are still coming in,
Oh my goodness.
is what the music's for. All right. Well, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate for August 2nd, 2023.
That's so
Good
weird.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, here's my weekly lecture. So each of you have made the decision to invest in your education, your future, and the business of selling. So are you getting a reasonable return on your investment money? Are you investing the time to really make the business work in your favor? The truth is, most people are just trying to make it from day to day. Most people just want to pay their bills and get by, of course. They really don't have any big dreams, desires, or ambitions. But that's not true for everyone here because you have a real estate license. So the good news about this is all of that describes your competition. No big dreams, just trying to get by. These are the people that are trying to beat you out of a listing. So how long are you going to continue to let that happen? You deserve to win. You're willing to spend the time, the money, and the energy to build your career. And since time is slipping by right now, we're halfway through the year, why not do whatever it takes to make the next 6 months your best ever? Do that by treating your business like a business. So don't forget your dreams. Don't forget why. Don't forget all of the thoughts you had when you were studying for the real estate license, because all of that should be happening. And there are people here today who are going to help you do that. Well, let's pat ourselves on the back for what we've done, because we've got some good listings here. New listings, things like that. Nice. Koen, what have we got in Portland?
Yeah, we have a lot going on. We have a new listing by Michelle that actually just went pending. So very quick turnaround for her. She also has a new listing in Gresham coming up on Friday. I have a new listing coming up on Friday as well. It's a fixer in Tualatin. Good piece of property, over a 1/4 acre. If you guys don't have any investors, send them my way. I'd love to show them the property. As for pendings, we have, as I said, Michelle Schock going under contract, as well as Kathy Goff having another property going under contract. That's the second one in a couple weeks. And let's see, solds. We have Mary Gray selling that houseboat that she had listed a couple months ago. And I believe she worked both sides on that one. So congrats to Mary Gray.
Nice. Those are not easy to sell, by the way.
No,
Right.
they are not.
Chrissy Hansen just had a listing in Gervis.
Oh, that's right. That one's coming up as well. I'm still waiting for the paperwork on that one.
Nice. It's up on the other website. It's cute suburban home just out of Woodburn, Gervis.
Nice.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. So some good activity in the Portland branch.
Oh, and I just wanted to say Grant Baker, congrats to Grant Baker. He got his principal broker's license
Woot woot.
late last week. And I believe Mary Gray is also just took her test yesterday. So
Good luck.
congrats to those guys.
Yes, thank you. Okay. What's going on what's going up in Longview? I see some
Well,
happening.
in Longview, we have, let's see, Steve Bright closed a couple this last week,
Nice.
2 different ones. We have 7, I believe, pending,
Oh, nice.
and like 6 of them are scheduled to close this month. And new listings coming.
Nice.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent. I do see several here. Several here for Longview. Several I think we've seen before.
Yep, we have
What's happening with Midland?
Midland is
Is that
full.
closed?
Okay, good. Good. Okay. Anything new in Vancouver?
Yes, I'm very excited about Vancouver. I put one into escrow last week. We're working a lot of buyers right now. So I got one into escrow last week and working through the inspection this week. And Shauna, this one is super exciting because Shauna Wallace got a lead a few months ago, I guess, from not realtor.com, but century21.com. And she's been cultivating it, and he flew in and she got him into contract. So she's working on that. And that's exciting. And so keep in contact with those internet leads. You never know when they're going to fly in and buy a house.
That's right. That's right.
Right. And then Taj is working on a buyer as well. So there's a few things going on, and I have other ones I'm hopefully going to get towards the end of this week.
Nice.
Right. All right. Well, very good. And how about Caldwell? I see a lot of listings in here for Caldwell.
Yeah, we have Augie is closing a home. He closed a home in Meridian on Monday, and Jana has her closing this Friday. We also have Lee's pending on Red Avenue in Caldwell.
Nice.
Excellent. This is marked as pending fuchsia. Not sure if that closed yet. A beautiful new house.
That is stunner. That's pending, I
Look
think.
at
Yeah.
that.
I know.
Only
Suburban Boise in the house.
That's a bargain.
It really is. Somebody did well. That's something to tell buyers. It's a great time to buy because, man, you can get a deal.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the good work. We are moving right along as far as listings and sales.
Yeah, I was going to ask Shauna, how long were you actually talking with that internet Century 21 lead?
It was probably at least 2.5, 3 for sure.
I'm sorry, you cut out 3.5 months.
It was about 2.5, 3 months for sure. There was actually no, it was a little over 3 months. It was a lot of back and forth. Just trying to figure out like what area exactly he wanted to be in. Close to the airport was important, so I was trying to keep him on the northeast side, as I was telling you. And we went everywhere, just so he could see, what it was like, the freeways were like, the commute to the airport. And we ended up finding him one that was within 12 minutes from the airport. And it's really nice, a 2020 construction. So
Wow.
he's very pleased, very nice neighborhood, super clean. Yeah, he's happy.
Good job.
Yeah, it was
job.
nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to get a lead from Century 21 that was so good. That was $410,000, so that was great.
Excellent. But you had to work for that one. Doesn't know where they want to be, wants to be driven around,
That was good.
wants to learn the area.
Yep.
Yep.
You can cultivate anything. Just this morning, a busy mom hit my car and I'm texting with her right now about getting some referrals. Go with the guilt trip. Go with the guilt trip. It's a great time to ask. What's she gonna say? No, I just hit your car. No? All
That's
right.
borderline ambulance chasing.
I know.
It may work.
Well, she hit a car with Century 21 on the license plate, so it's like, well,
Here's my card.
I did.
Uh,
No apologies. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Slightly embarrassed. I don't know.
All right, how's the market? How is the market? Let's have a discussion about that, see where things are today. And interest rates are 6.81. I said down, but I think it's up. So it is 6.81 for the 30-year fixed mortgage. And it represents an increase of 0.03. All right, I saw something. It's probably on realtor.com. But it's nice to look at a chart of interest rates going back to the 70s. And I think I saw that in here. Because you know, people of my generation tells you that that's a really great rate historically. And people of another generation don't know what I'm talking about because it's high compared to anything they've ever seen. But all right, I thought it was right there. But yeah, if you look at a chart from the 1970s, these are still historically low rates. Inflation is down. The interest rate is not following inflation like the NAR economist would like it to, and he's doing everything he can to let the feds know what realtors think should happen. I have all of the market actions posted, all of the current ones, which are just June for right now, and July will be out probably in 2 weeks, and we'll update all of these numbers. We do them monthly. The NAR economist has a report on a rise in pending sales, which is good news. What's that about, Koom?
Yeah, let's take a look. NAR released a summary of pending home sales data showing that June's pending home sales pace increased 0.3% from last month, but fell 15.6% from a year ago. You can see that in the chart below. Pending sales represent homes with a signed contract to purchase but have yet to close. They tend to lead existing home sales data by 1 to 2 months. Makes sense. It takes about that much time to close on a property. All 4 regions showed double-digit declines from a year ago. The Midwest had the most significant dip at 17.1%, followed by the Northeast with a drop in contract signings of 16.7%. The West fell 15.5%, followed by the South with the smallest decline of 14.3%. From month to month, though, 2 of the 4 regions showed declines in contract signings. The Midwest region had the most significant decline of 4.3%, followed by the Northeast with a modest gain of 0.6%. The South had the largest decline of 1.4%, followed by the West with the smallest drop of 1%. U.S. pending home sales index for June was 76.8. May's pending sales figures was revised to 76.6. So a tiny increase. June's contract signings brings the pending index below the 100 level mark for the 15th consecutive month. The 100 level is based on a 2001 benchmark and is consistent with existing home sales above the 5 million mark. Yeah, as you can see from the chart below, you know, we have a decrease from last year, but a slight increase from last month. Oh, you're muted, John.
Is that good news or bad news?
It's news.
It's
It's
news.
yeah, it's news.
It's the way it is, the way it is. It's good news, not great news. But we're recovering. We're recovering. We have a more normal interest rate. We have a more normal market, and the public needs to adjust. And the public is adjusting. And actually, Cheryl's going to talk about that later as buyers adjust to the new normal, which is a 7%. What's that?
Local, not normal.
Local. Okay.
It's more
Did I
local.
write normal?
Yep, you wrote normal.
I wrote local here.
The local news.
Okay, well, then Cheryl will be talking about something else. But they are adjusting to a more normal market, which is why we're having sales. All right, let's do the role play. Let's get these figures in your head so that when you're asked about them later today, as you're talking to people, you'll know what to say. Go ahead and print this out. You just go to How's the Market, and a handy little thing to do is, if you're on Windows 10 or something like that, you just highlight your area, right click, and print from there. And then you just quickly have it in your hand. You have it taped to your desk, and you'll know these figures, and it'll make you look like a professional. Cool. How's the market in Portland?
We are seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing and signs of reluctance to purchase from buyers. Average days on the market is down to 33 days from 60 days, and median home prices have decreased 3.6% over last year. The median home sold price in the metro area is $530,000. Interest rates are currently up to 6.81% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers. Buyers also benefit from dropping prices, stable interest rates, and more time on the market.
Excellent. Excellent. That gives me confidence already. Confidence that you know what you're doing, and that it's favorable for me to do what I want to do. Kat, can you hear me?
Sure can.
How's the market where you are?
So in Clark County, Vancouver, Washington, we are seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing and signs of reluctance to purchase from buyers. Average days on the market is down to 33 days from 34, and median home prices have decreased 1% over last year. The median home sold price in the area is $520,000. Interest rates are currently up to 6.81% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers. Buyers also benefit from dropping prices, stable interest rates, and more time on the market.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, a good market in Clark County. Jennifer or Cheryl, how are things in Cowlitz County, Longview, Kelso, and surrounding areas?
Go ahead, Jennifer.
I'll take it. Okay. We are seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue to slow trend upward. However, this continues to be a seller's market due to a shortage of available housing and signs of reluctance to purchase from buyers. Average days, oh, I just lost it. I zoomed in too much. Average days on the market is down to 24 days from 34 days, and median home prices have increased 3.9% over last year. The median home sold price in the area is $400,000. Interest rates are currently up to 6.81% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it is still favorable to sellers. Buyers also benefit from dropping prices, stable interest rates, and more time on the market.
All right, excellent. Excellent.
Nice.
Things are very, they're a bit different in Cowlitz County, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mario, how's the market in your area?
The market in our area, well, we're seeing a slight decrease in home prices nationwide as interest rates continue a slow trend upwards. The Boise metro area is now considered a buyer's market, which means that the supply of homes is greater than the demand for homes. The average days on the market is down to 29 days from 47 days, and the median home prices have increased 3.7% over the last year. The median home sold price in the metro area is now $535,000. Interest rates are currently up to 6.81% and are expected to fluctuate over time. This is a great time to list while it is still favorable to sellers. Buyers also benefit from dropping prices, stable interest rates, and more time on the market.
Excellent. Excellent. So 595 is the median home price. What is that? Let me compare that to the others. 400,000 for Cowlitz County, 520 in Clark, and 530 in Portland.
It's our most expensive market.
Look at that. Look at that. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we get a Seattle office, then we can see the entire Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
There we go. That's what we need. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good market, good statistics. And let's have a look at some other things. I've got some interesting things here. Nick, did you get that on your screen for the golden ruler?
I did.
Okay, then let's take a second. Nick is going to tell us about the golden ruler. And I'm going to make you the co-host, and then you will be able to share your screen.
I think
And if you have any questions, Cheryl will help you with that.
I think I got it here. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go with Michelle's. So the golden ruler, as you guys know, I love it. Those of you who have been with me for a while know that I discussed the golden ruler. I'm very enthusiastic. But with the market change, I actually have a reason to be enthusiastic about the golden ruler, because when I first got excited about it, it was not a tool that you'd use all the time because your house was selling in 48 hours. But now that we're seeing an increase in days on market and agents needing to go back to their clients to discuss price adjustments, suddenly this golden ruler tool is really important. So I'm going to go with Michelle's home on Southwest Ventura in Tigard. And it's really simple. You click the house, you can view and edit, and then view on Century 21. So what you want to do is you want to view it on the golden ruler. I think they've made it even easier. And then it takes a little second. Just a few more seconds. I don't know why it's being
Do you
slow.
want me to put the music back on?
Yes, why don't you put the music? Yes. I like that. What do they call it? The archaic rhythm or whatever, the harp
Yes.
rhythm. Ka-chum, ka-chum. Yeah. So there is the chart, and it is incredible. So I'll show you the chart. And you just go right through and you can read and see that it's Zillow, Realtor.com, the multiple listing service. It tells you where people are viewing it, all over the world even. As you can see, it's kind of a hot spot in the Northwest for this home. And then you have the other charts here. And now I just realized I may have to go to my listing because it's not letting me share with my client. But so I'm going to go back to my listing. But I like this long range, that it talks about. So I'm going to quickly go back because I just realized to show you the other part of it, you'll have to go to mine. And I already shared it with my client, so hopefully it'll let me. Yes, okay, so good. So same thing, I won't go back to this, but one thing I will point out is when I had this scheduled to send to my client, I really point out to them that, as you can see here, I'm circling the multiple listing number. So Zillow had 1,100 people look at it, but the most important number is just this 369. And the reason is this is 369 real estate professionals that only can find it through the multiple listing service. So this is a hot and important number to look at, because though it's smaller, it's the one with the client that's looking. So when I sent her this, I didn't just flippantly send it. I sent it with a note that said, watch that MLS number, because those are agents, because she wouldn't have known. So now back up to the top, all you do is literally click schedule a report. And when you click that, I've already done it, but you click it and it really just allows you to add and BC as many people as you want, BCC as many people as you want, including yourself. I would advise you to include yourself so that you're seeing that report. So if you want to add anything, you can, and it also lets you add any thoughts that you have to it if there is a significant change. But this is important at this point because you are going to probably be adjusting prices. And when you go to your client and say, 1,100 people have looked at your listing and we've had 2 showings, that's going to really help you be able to convince them of that adjustment rather than just flippantly saying it. So there you go. I don't have much more to say. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question for Shauna. Is how do you keep sellers updated on perhaps a weekly basis?
Right.
That's a good question. I actually make a phone call to them every Friday, and I don't always use the ruler, but I do look at the statistics on the MLS, and it shows how many people have been looking at it, and it has some good statistics. And sometimes I send that to them if they want to see it. Depends on how long we are in the process and the type of personality they are. Some people don't want that information. Some people want it, every week they want to report. So I definitely make a phone call and talk to them.
Okay. Very good to point out. Yeah, even better than an email, call them and go over the report.
Do you think it might be, I'm seeing one potential practice would be to set this up on a weekly basis to go to you and your client. And then when you both have it, call them. And that'll remind you to call every week, and it'll give you something to say. That's the biggest roadblock to keeping in touch with your sellers month after month. If it's not selling, to have to call them on Monday or whatever day you choose and not really have anything to say.
Exactly. I think this goes back to us knowing the market. It's not enough to say, oh, the market's good, shrug. Or your house isn't selling and, I've had a lot of people looking at it, shrug. We probably should have this data one way or another, like Shauna said, whether it be the golden ruler or using some other resource, but have facts for them.
I think that this is great that you're bringing this up because we haven't had to use anything, and I'm really glad to bring this up and remind myself to get it set up at the beginning because I think it's perfect.
Yep, it's very helpful in these times.
I have a question or a comment. This is actually good because you can, educate your client, and the work that you're doing is actually working to expose the home. And it also would be helpful when you're speaking to a first-time home buyer, a seller by owner. This is the results you get by promoting a home that he's not going to most likely get by doing it himself. But I noticed that Century 21 didn't have any. Why is that?
You know what? It is so funny you say that. I was just going to tell John, this is last week's report. This is interesting for the office to know, because I had forgotten actually to even mention it to John. We're not on here, but there's another form I can get sent to you guys later because I'm not seeing it here. C21northstar.com, our company website, actually had more views than century21.com. I thought that was interesting. I had like, I don't know, 100+ people look at it at century21northstar.com over century21.com.
Where did
I
you? see
don't
that?
know if that's because people were seeing it on social media and it was directing them to our website, but our local company website was getting more traffic. So that's interesting.
Sure, I don't know what it means, but I see IDX there, and IDX is the feed that goes out to other websites. So it might be included in that. Because what we used to see with these is we used to see, so yeah, we used to see Remax and we used to see all the other big names there also. So I don't know what's happening. I think you're right, Nick. The first three are the important ones.
Mhm.
You see how Zillow dominates the public's interaction with real estate, and you see the realtor.com is a player. Realtor.com didn't even used to show up on these things.
Right. And now
But
it's
you got 300 real estate agents looked at it.
that's the number.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good information. That's good
Right.
information. And I think that's a good strategy when you have a listing to take care of your client and tell them what they need to know.
Mhm. Yep. Give them facts. My client was really happy with this. She got to see some facts, and she's an analytical, so that made sense to her.
Ah.
She wanted facts.
Another really easy thing that you can set up at the beginning of a listing or whatever and have it sent weekly, like John said, and you kind of set it and forget it, or set it to remind yourself once a week.
Yep.
It's another one of those easy things.
It's not only a tickler, but it has information too. So it's really
Yes.
cool.
Well, you can also use, like, if you took a copy of, say, that scenario, when you're doing when you're meeting with a customer to get a potential listing, you can actually show them that particular report and say, this is kind of the results you'll be getting, when I list your home and market your home. This is an example of a report that could be your house too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, thank you, Nick.
Nice.
You missed the dress code this morning. You didn't get my memo. Okay.
I wanted to add some pizzazz.
Yes, you see, Nick and I always dress alike. Okay, so this came, Agent Edge newspaper. This should have come to you from corporate as well. And there is some interesting stuff in here. If you want to dive deeper into the market, what they're doing with the Agent Edge is, so it's a bi-weekly newsletter with tools and resources. And the first thing is, what are the industry leaders saying? So they've chosen 3 articles from last week, and you can actually go to the article. And here's one explaining interest rates. And if you click on this, you see that it's going to be from some news outlet. And so this is Keeping Current Matters, which is an excellent news outlet for how the market is. And there's where I saw the chart. Oh, I'm so glad I did this. There's where I saw the chart that I was talking about. Is why boomers think that 7% is a low interest rate, and others don't know what I'm talking about, is because this goes back 20 years, and 20 years ago, it was 6. So we've gone back to where it was 20 years ago. But if you go back another 20 years, it really is wild. It's up over, which is the blue.
Wow, and 80 was nuts.
It's up at 17 in 1980, and stayed in the 12s and the 10s for these decades.
Yep.
And then from 2000, it was a steady decline, and in the crisis, the Feds tried to keep it as low as possible, dipping into the 2s, dipping below the 2s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the story there on interest rates. So will they go back to 4s? I don't know. Probably not, but Nobody knows. That's the important thing. That's why we're here giving you good data from the NAR and other sources, because there are guys on the radio who are telling you things with great confidence that are just no factual basis.
No.
I'll run across that. Shauna, you just told me this. Someone's going to buy a house when interest rates reach 3 again.
Between 3 and 4, they'll be ready to move to Columbia County, and they'll use me at that time.
Okay,
Okay.
don't hold your breath.
Do you remember what you asked me after that? How old are they?
I asked how old they were, and they were over 60.
Oh.
And I said they shouldn't hold their breath either. So,
Yeah, I did send them an email back, a thought out email, and crickets. I haven't heard anything now.
okay. Okay.
Well, that's just one approach.
You got to give them the facts.
Yeah.
That's all. Just
I'm
cut-
gonna send her this thing.
Right. Right. So that's what this is. And I like it. And it's interesting. The first one was interesting. One of these, I clicked on it and it was to one of the news channels and it just had political news. So, be careful if you don't, the video they're trying to refer to was gone and the daily news was bombarding it. Baby boomers and their cash are driving the housing market right now. That's a little bit ironic is how we're pushing social media and wanting to go on the new Instagram thing, and that all these things are important when the boomers are not doing that by and large. They're just not. Yet they're driving the market. So that's just an interesting aspect of all of this. And why isn't the housing market behaving the way it's supposed to? Why aren't the interest rates declining? Why isn't the Federal Reserve declining the interest rate along with the cost of inflation? That's interesting. If you find that interesting. So I wanted to put this in here. Amory is our social media, I don't know, CEO of social media at Century 21. So there's good stuff in there. And of course, we all know that Accelerate, they don't need to do that. There is an Accelerate schedule, one starting on 8/7, August 7th, one starting on 9/11, and one starting on 10/16. It says there are no classes because you're not logged in, but that will show you the classes. And the same thing for Go List. There's one scheduled for August 8th, starting August 8th, September 26th. Yeah, so there's 2 scheduled for that. And remember, the the university catalog is here. And I put a link here to the Learning Library as well. The Learning Library has, let's see if it comes up. I'm going to log in because the Learning Library has short self-paced things. And I wanted to get a quick link to it. When you go to Century 21 University, it can be a little hard to find things, and I'm always looking for those short courses. So let this log in. Nick, do you want to put that music on?
If I can figure that out. I can
Here
turn
we
up my
Here it comes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go. Well, our computers are slow because of the
The results match your search, it says.
yeah, well, it worked last night.
You have to search for something else.
Okay.
You got a lot of windows open. Oh, there it is.
Okay, here they are. I forgot what I was looking for. I was looking for some CMA stuff, but they're all here. And I'm glad this link works because these are a little hard to find. So have a look at these. Okay, here's a self-paced guide on the Golden Ruler. And I think everybody with a listing should do that ASAP. because that's a very valuable way to communicate with them. I think our clients deserve to see that on a regular basis. Okay. Okay, let's have a discussion on real estate and housing market more local than ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
That's an interesting idea.
yes. I feel like we've always been in that spot in Longview because whatever's happening, you watch the news and they give you an average of what's happening in the whole country, or, maybe what's happening in New York and LA, and it doesn't really have much to do with what's happening in like Cowlitz County or, maybe even in Portland. Anyway, they're talking about that. That's more true than ever right now. It's the local markets can be totally different, as we see in, Caldwell compared to Portland and Longview. It's all different.
Right.
So this talks about confused about the housing market. You're not alone. While consumer confidence about the state of real estate continues to pull low, most markets around the country are seeing a steady stream of activity. So why are national headlines constantly highlighting the housing market's inevitable demise? The short answer is this: because real estate is more local than ever. National trends, insights, and data aren't always reflective of what's really happening in most markets around the country, which brings up the question, what is really happening in the housing market today? So for the last number of years, the housing market has been one of the hottest topics, for better or for worse, flooding feeds with headlines and grand statements about everything from bidding wars to price declines and housing crashes. And for the most part, during the unicorn years, which we like to call them, between 2019 and 2021, the trends and insights being reported applied to nearly every market in the country. Prices were appreciating, mortgage rates were low, bidding wars were high, and average days on the market were short. That was great for us agents, but it was a total feeding frenzy and business was booming, but it was probably terrible for buyers. And then, like the flick of a switch, that all changed. The shock of rising mortgage rates stopped many buyers and sellers in their tracks, waiting in a holding pattern for them to go back down again. While they've budged a little from their peak of 7.08% last October, they're unlikely to go back down significantly anytime soon. However, that uneasiness has seemed to have worn off as consumers get used to the new normal of today's housing market. So real estate markets are showing resilience, especially as buyers have accepted mortgage rates in the new normal of between 6 and 7%. This has kept a steady pace of sales over the last few months. So people are starting to get used to it, and people are, getting ready to go out and buy anyway. All that cash out there is still what's happening with the people that have paid off their mortgage or have a lot of equity in their house. Those buyers are out there that are going to have cash for their next purchase. That's happening a lot. We were surprised in our office. Like I had that, $700,000 listing that in Cowlitz County, that's a big thing. And it sold like pretty quickly because those people in that price range are mostly, not new home buyers. They have a house with a lot of equity and maybe their house is paid off and they're selling it. And like our buyers bought that with cash. So anyway, the point of all this is to know your local market, which we talk about all the time here. The one major thing that will drive your business forward and set you apart in one of undoubtedly the most confusing housing markets of our time. How to be the local market expert. While your news feeds may be filled with doom and gloom about the state of the real estate market, what's actually happening in your area may be the opposite. We see that a lot here. The thing that matters most here is that your clients are likely seeing the same messages in their daily dose of scrolling, which leads to even more confusion. They need to know what's really happening locally right now, and they need to hear it from you, their trusted real estate professional. So that's the point of all these little things, our market updates and the charts that we can find. Anytime you can post something about those. And this is from Keeping Current Matters, which has lots of charts and flashy things to post on social media, or whatever, your emails, whatever you're sending out, flyers. So it's never been more important for you to know every little detail and piece of data of what's happening in your area, down to a specific zip code. I mean, that's easy for us. We only have one zip code in Longview. And you've got to take the data and information and put it on blast. So find out what the information is, the stats in your area, post it on social media, create weekly or monthly market update videos, add it to your buyer or seller presentations and guides, email campaigns, repetition, you get the picture. Just let people know. That's educate, be the expert. That's what we need to do. And maybe point out to them that it's a local market. What's happening in your area may be totally different than what's happening on, the news. So there's no such thing as too much information, especially when you want your voice and message to be louder than all the noise we're bombarded with on a daily basis. In fact, research shows that the average prospect needs to hear a message 7 times before they take action. Remember that when you're posting things. Over communication, especially in today's market, is one of the most important and effective parts of your business strategy you can implement. That's how you truly become the local market expert. Put out, and not just, a bunch of junk, but actual facts and information that people want to know. And people will start going there to see what's happening. So the bottom line is, as the old adage goes, you have to play the hand you're dealt. However, unlike gambling, your real estate business cannot be built on luck. Many agents got lucky with how easy it was to attain business during the unicorn years, but this market is different, and what worked before most likely is not working now. While that boom may be slower, it's not over. People will always need to buy or sell a home, and that means they will always need you. When mortgage rates drop, there will be an influx of ready buyers and sellers, so you must be prepared now. What you need is local data. So keep up on your local data and educate people. That's our job.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, thank you. Any comments on that? Any takeaways from that?
I have a very short story kind of related to that, and that's kind of shimmying with data to just change as a real estate agent as the market changes. And I was speaking to a friend of mine who's a Pearl expert, and she's been selling real estate in the Pearl District since it kicked off, like 25 years. And it's become more of a buyer's market. And she's used to the opposite, of course, over the last 25 years. And she was super optimistic and busy. And she said, I am selling to people that could never have afforded to live in the Pearl before. And she said, so I'm really looking at the optimistic. She said people are able to buy condos in a neighborhood they wanted to live in, and maybe wouldn't have been able to. And then she said she's seen an increase in investors enthusiastically wanting to be a part of that wonderful urban neighborhood that might not have before even got their foot in the door. And it was kind of cool. She knew the data and she shimmied, and she's still there. And that's a person that's micro focused on, an 80 square block area of the city.
Yeah, use your MLS to get those stats. There's all kinds of reports that you can find and create on your MLS to put out there.
Yep.
look at your MLS, you know, on the daily and maybe print something out once a week. Be my suggestion.
Right. Right. Nice. Yeah, she made a good point that you the Pearl, that you work with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the other realtors are dropping out, the ones who were participating in the unicorn years. So it's
Right.
wide open for you.
Yep.
Cheryl, why isn't my home selling?
This I posted to, this I thought was a good example, and this was one of the KCM things, only I took it and kind of changed it a tad bit so that it would fit on a Word document, and then this is something that I would post in social media. So this would be a good example of some information to put out there for your people, or maybe just drop into that seller that maybe, you know, needs to do some things like this suggests. You know, some of the things, limited access, if people have renters in there, or the first impression where it's, you know, not good, or of course, the number one reason, it's priced too high. I think those are the main reasons that it says in there. So, but that's mainly something I put out just to information for your clients, and something easy. I just copied and pasted that on a Word document, and then I will put it on social media or send it out or print it out.
Well, this is excellent. And, you know, the first thing I'm seeing here is the very first statement is here. While the current market is generally favorable to sellers, there's still factors. We all went through this today with our How's the Market training, and it seems to be identical to that. But let's talk about some of these. I would say price too high. I always make a joke when anybody says it's not moving, there's no attention. I always say it's priced too high. I don't need to know what the house is. I don't need to know anything. It's priced too high. It's a commodity. My stock won't sell. It's priced too high. My car won't sell. It's priced too high. And that's, you know, that's a fact.
Anything will sell if it's cheap enough.
Everything has the price it will sell at. You're absolutely right. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah, but the first one is super important too. If they're not marketing the house properly, then like limited access. I have a listing appointment today. I just got this morning from somebody who listed their house with somebody and they have a house that's in one of those areas that actually needs to be into multiple listing services because it's on a border of two counties. And they are only in one, and they haven't had the exposure that they're supposed to. So this is going to be easy for me to walk in and get this listing because of my marketing is going to be far superior.
Okay, you got me. There is one thing more important than the price is is there even know about it? Can they buy it?
Are enough eyes getting on it? Yep.
Yeah, it's like I knew that she had it listed. She's a friend, but I didn't do a lot of research, and it didn't bring it to her attention until she started like really voicing her opinion last night at tennis that she was so unhappy. And I just had to calm her down. I was like, don't do anything. Let me talk to you in person, because she's like mad and she wants to cancel and do all these things. It's like, let me tell you how to do that before you do that. And so it's just kind of take it slow. But she's like, doesn't everybody have the same things, and why isn't it selling? And I said, well, no, not everybody has the same things. There's a different way to market. You know, their marketing plan is everything. Would you like to see my marketing plan?
Right. Okay, that's a huge factor when taking a listing is are they serious? Are they going to do what it takes to get it out there and showable, and all of those things? Okay, what else is in here? All right, not freshened up before listing. If it looks good, it'll make a good impression. So yes, this is under the price because there's only so much you can do. Again, don't spend $100,000 on a house that you're not going to recover. Don't put your favorite granite in there that the new buyer is not going to appreciate or want. But what things
Yeah, but
do to a house?
sorry.
What will make a difference?
Photos.
What
Now
if you-
this-
Or making the, you know, the first impression, the outside, the front of the house look good, because how many of us have clients that they pull up and they go, yeah, I don't want it.
Yeah, but
And
you
they're
gotta
done.
get it, you gotta get them there with the good photos to begin with too, like.
Yep.
You got, if you're gonna sell a $2 million house, you probably need to have some really good photography.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's everything. And I've talked about the photograph. You want a pretty portrait of the house and you want color in it.
Yep.
You want
Twilight.
flowers, and if there aren't any, go buy them. Go to Home
Right.
Depot and buy $200 worth of flowers and just set them out in the front porch.
What
Yeah.
Kung, one thing I will say about Kung is he will not list any house without professional photos, even a fixer. Do you have any additional thoughts on that, Kung? Because I know that's something you stand really strong with.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's not just a reflection of, you know, the house. It's a reflection of me as a realtor. You know, I have to have pride in my listings. I have to show, you know, and it shows the seller that I'm serious about marketing. You know, it's part of my marketing, you know, program, and it's what they're paying for. You know, it justifies my commission. And, you know, I'm not going to, you know, ask for 6% if I'm just going to use my phone to take photos, you know. I would feel bad personally, but, you know, like today, I'm meeting the photographer after this meeting for this fixer. It's a mess inside, but, you know, I want to present the floor plan. I want to present the size of the lot. And I'm not going to be able to do that without professional photography. I'm paying for a
Exactly.
drone shot.
Just remember,
Show up.
yeah, remember to make sure that your photographer is really good. I mean,
Mhm.
you can get a professional photographer that you may be able to take better photos.
Right.
Right.
So be careful.
Well, my
Yeah.
husband said, oh, I'm sorry.
Managers here, we work with a lot of photographers. So if you guys need recommendations on who
Yeah.
to use, please contact us.
Mhm.
Well, like Kung said, sometimes they offer other services, like even getting floor plans set up.
Right.
And
Yeah. Floor plans, aerial, that's all good.
Yeah, and it's gonna cost a lot of money, but like Toon said, it represents you. It's gonna be on your website.
And it represents the company. I think that's important too. You know, Century 21 we are a quality company, and we have to present that to everyone, because it's not just the public who's going to look at the photos. It's going to be other realtors as well. So keep that in mind when you market a listing.
Yeah, you and I talked about that earlier in your career, and you got $1 million something townhouse or something, and you said, well, all of this materials, I'm going to spend this money because all these materials are part of my listing presentation going forward.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, use it to get more listings for sure.
I do, for sure.
Well, great discussion. Thank you for bringing that to us, Cheryl. Any office events? Portland, do you have your lunch and learn scheduled for next month?
We do. It's always the last Thursday of the month. So this month it will be August 24th. We have Old Republic coming this time, and they'll be doing a presentation. I'll have that out to all of the Oregon agents. And every Tuesday we're doing broker tours. Had a great session yesterday. Went to the northeast part of the town and looked at really great properties. And got lots of food and snacks too. 'Cause agents, good agents will have food at their broker tours.
Kung is sorry, he's not sorry.
Nice. Anybody else have anything to announce?
We're going to be going over our Washington forms on Thursdays, every Thursday at 9:30 for a half hour. We have a lot of changes in forms, so we're going to be doing that via Zoom. And my advanced agent training is 2 o'clock on August 17th, which will be Zoom and in-house.
Nice. Okay, and then one parting thing, as you can see scrolling on the bottom of your screen, is the blogs. I've created a blog for every one of our 21-point system to be in the real estate business. It is taken from the Mike Ferry system and made to fit with Century 21. And I will bring those to you during meetings when we run out of other things to say, but there they are for your convenience right there. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow, first thing in the morning, or we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
you.
great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.